Morning, everybody. Brian here at Enhanced Defense. I'd like to take a little bit of time this beautiful October morning after a bunch of rain and go over our medical bag that we're selling here at Enhanced Defense. First of all, I want to go over who it was designed for. It was designed for the average Joe, the regular citizen out there, to be able to enhance their survivability in a critical environment. In case of mass casualty active shooter, going to the movie, someone coming and shooting in, how can we save ourselves or save a loved one or just save a regular person, a third party. Next thing I want to do is I want to talk about how we designed the bag, or why we designed the bag the way we did. Number one, we needed to make sure it was affordable. Try to keep the price down. There's a bunch of stuff that's bags out there that are great kits, great bags people are selling. Prices on up there, so the average person doesn't want to buy it. These bags are running about $100 on my site. It's $100, but I'm always running special deals. The next thing is we wanted to make sure that it was easy to be able to train somebody on. Really, blood goes round and round, air goes in and out, and that's what we need to be able to train them on and be able to give them the right equipment to get that done and do it simply. The last thing that we did was we wanted to make sure that the bag was maintainable, that we didn't have a lot of maintenance for it. We didn't have a lot of shelf life stuff in there. So we stayed away from some of the other stuff, and we just stuck with the big guns, the stuff that works, the stuff that needs to be done right now. So let's talk about the bag. Again, I said this is for the average citizen. It's not for the LE officer out there that's running tactical operations every single day. This is for somebody to put in their classroom, put in their place of business, stick in their vehicle, glove box, console, put it on the back of a headrest, whatever. That's the reason, the way we design these bags. Again, it's just a basic black tactical bag, double-ended zipper, so we can get into the gear inside of it very quickly. Has a little red medical cross on there, so it's easily identifiable as a medical kit. Okay, the first thing we put in there, we went ahead and went with some non-latex rubber gloves, Bear Claw, put out by North American Rescue, individually wrapped. So we went ahead and stuck those in there. Next thing, let's talk about the big gun. The big gun is our tourniquet. We went with the orange tourniquet. Okay, when you guys receive that, you're going to receive it. It's going to look like this. Get it out of the plastic. Get it ready to go. Get it prepped. Take that. Make sure you got enough to grab a hold of, but you still have a big enough loop to get it around shoes or whatever, and or you can keep it where it comes all the way off. Only one loop in the buckle. These are the Cat 7s, the newer ones, newer versions. But we stayed with the orange because it was easily identifiable. One of the biggest things about your tourniquet once you get it is to make sure once it's prepped that you keep this little white tab out of the way. I've seen people cut them off, but I kind of like it there in case I need to strap it across there. Don't store it like this. Make sure that thing's out of the way. That way you can get it out and make it go to work right away. Next thing we have a couple different bandages or dressings that we have. Number one, Kerlix, 4.5 by 4 yards, 4.5 inches by 4 yards. Basic Kerlix. I prep mine. You don't have to. The stuff's pretty easy to get into. I pop the bag, pull it out, and tie a knot in it. You don't have to do that. Just one of the things that I do. Next thing that we have North American Rescue S-Roll gauze. Basically, it's the same thing as this, except it's condensed down. We went ahead and put 1 and 1 in there, so you can put it inside the bag. If you want to enhance the bag later on, put some more gear in it, you can. Instead of putting 2 of these big ones in there, we got 1 and 1. Real quick about the S-Roll gauze, you rip it off and tear the tab, very easily get into, doesn't take much. You pull it out, you'll have another piece of plastic with the gauze inside. There's a little red circle. All you have to do is stick your finger in there and pull it out. Not a lot of fine motor skills to get that done. Once that's done, this stuff starts pulling out, kind of like a Kleenex box. So there it is, very easily done. Same amount of gauze in this one as there is in this Kerlix here. Last thing that we have here is we have, as far as dressings go, is we have the emergency trauma dressing, Israeli bandage. I'll go ahead and open one up so people can see what it looks like. You just rip it off, not hard to do. Doesn't take a bunch of fine motor skills to get that done under stress. Pull it out. It opens up. Got this big pad right here. You can put on the wound. You can apply pressure. Once you pack it with whatever gauze that you want to, you can put it right there on top of it. Once you get that done, you can wrap it around, and then it has more Velcro on it that sticks to itself. All sticks to itself. So you can get that as tight as you need it, and get good pressure on there. Good trauma dressing right there. We went ahead went with this one because it's packed down a little bit smaller. Next thing that we went to, blood goes round and round, air goes in and out. Sometimes we're going to have to do some CPR, but we just don't want to put our mouth on somebody else's nasty old mouth. So right there it is, just a basic face shield, not one of those great big ones. Real easy, tear it open, pull it out, stick it over the mouth, give you a barrier between you and them. Next thing that we got trauma shears, real good piece of gear. Instead of pulling out a knife and creating another wound, go ahead and pull these out. Not everybody out there carries a knife on them all the time. Some of us do, some of us don't. But if we got these in the bag, we can go ahead and get clothes cut off and get to the wound that needs to be treated. Again, we talked about maintainability and not having a bunch of shelf life. These things right here are pretty good to go. They'll last for as long as you need them. Although we did put a Sharpie in there. Why do we put a Sharpie? Sharpie's a great piece of gear to have in a bag like this, especially in a critical environment. We all don't carry pens with this. But this right here, we can pull things off. We can write on walls. We can write on floors, tables, whatever you need. We can write on patients. We can write on ourselves, times, dates, keeping track of things. So good piece of gear to have. Although if you put it in your car for too long in a hot summer, there's a real good chance that it'll dry out when you pull it out. I've had a big Sharpie marker in my Jeep for about 1.5 years, 2 years. I pulled it out the other day, it worked just fine. Pulled out another Sharpie out of a box that was fairly new within 6 months, and it was already starting to dry out. So this is one of those things you're going to have to maintain. Maybe check once a year, make sure it's still good. If you need to replace it, go to Office Depot, grab you one, pick you one up. So there it is. The last thing that we have in the bag, we kind of played around with the flashlight idea. Flashlights, to keep this bag affordable, we couldn't put in a high dollar light, we couldn't put in a $100 light and still make it affordable. So we would have to go with the cheaper light. Problem is cheaper lights don't work all the time. I pulled them out, they work once and then they don't work again. The other problem is batteries. Batteries go dead, they corrode, things of that nature. So we wanted to still give light in case you're having to work in a low light environment. Also, we wanted to make sure that we had a good tool to communicate and mark our locations for oncoming law enforcement response and or paramedic response. Good piece of communication equipment. So we went ahead and put 2 of these in there. We put 2 in there so we can see what we're doing over here and still mark our location with the other one. And or if you break one open and pop it, it doesn't work. Hopefully the other one does. These have about a 5-year shelf life on them. These are good up until August 2023. So they're cheap. You can replace these really easy, other than trying to put some type of coagulant or hemostatic in there that also has a 2, 3, 5-year shelf life. And you have to replace that every year or every 3 to 5 years for $40. So that being said, that's the bag. You can always upgrade it. There's a couple upgrades that I would like to talk about. Number one would be my favorite is a RAC tourniquet, a rapid application tourniquet system. They're a great piece of gear. I carry one with me all the time, every single day in my pocket. Wraps up nice and tight. I can stick this in my pocket wherever I need to. I can even stick it in my waistband. It's not going to go anywhere. Great thing about these is if you have kids or your wife or whoever has much smaller arms, or even if you got little bitty small arms, this will work on you, where sometimes the Cat 7 won't, because of this big plastic piece here. It won't get down and get tight enough to stop the bleeding. So RAC tourniquet, great piece of gear. You can, for under 20 bucks, you can upgrade your bag where you have one on your body all the time, or actually stick this in your bag for smaller children, and it also works on animals as well. Well, if you have any questions, email us, enhanced.defense@gmail.com. I try to get back to everybody within 24 hours if I'm around a computer. Or you can check us out at enhanceddefense.com, where we do a lot more training, such as pistol, rifle, tactics, situational awareness, and also medical classes. So check us out. Check out this YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. There will be more videos to follow. Until next time, we'll be out.